I'll show you what piece of wood we're going to be turning tomorrow, because today I've spent the last few hours tuning up my bandsaw. I had no idea it had gotten so far out of alignment, out of adjustment. It was pathetic, and I just didn't know. I've just been turning it on and cutting wood, and it's been working. I got to looking at it, and holy cow, was it ever out of adjustment. We're going to turn tomorrow, and let me show you what we're going to turn. Often when I go looking for a piece of wood, I'll pick up this one and that one, and I'll examine them and decide, well, I can't do anything with that, or I can't think of anything today. Maybe I'll think of something next time I pick it up. And this is one of those pieces of wood. This has been sitting in here in the shop for years. I don't know how many years. I don't know if Tuffy dated his note. There's a note that goes with this. I forgot to notice if he dated it. Anyway, this is a typical piece of wood that you might find on someone's firewood pile, and you look at it like I'm holding it here and you say, well, that looks pretty dang good. And then you pick it up and it looks like that. And then you say, well, I can't do anything with that. Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I've said a few times. I've opened that box many times and taken the piece out and put it back. What can I do with it? But you know, it just takes a different day, a different frame of mind, I guess. I don't know, but now it looks totally usable to me. Well, maybe not totally. I'm gonna have to go to that nicely working bandsaw now and make a few cuts. So what am I gonna do? Well, that end is pretty thin, almost as much bark as there is wood. This end is much thicker, but then you see we've got a hole in here, but even without that, now we've got a piece of wood. That's probably about 3.5 inches. I haven't measured it. So I'm going to cut off in length. I haven't measured, and I probably won't measure, but it's probably somewhere right in here, and we'll turn that half over there. So I'll cut it off in length. I might also cut this end off just to kind of square it up a little bit and see how deep those cracks go, but I don't think they go very deep. And then I'll lay it up on its end, this side against the bandsaw fence, and I'll cut it right at the bottom or the top, however you want to look at it, the top of this hole right here. I'll cut it right along there. So then we're going to have a piece of wood that looks like that, and it'll be about squarish, and we'll have a nice bowl blank. So that's what I'm going to do today, and get it mounted up on the lathe, so when I come out here tomorrow morning, it's going to be all ready to go. Now this is, as you can see, Tuffy wrote on there, regular plum. That's as opposed to cherry plum, which he has sent me plenty of, which is beautiful, beautiful wood, cherry plum. But so is plum. You can see the rich plum color in there. And then that nice bark all sanded up and finished. This is going to be a beautiful piece, but it's going to take a little work to get there. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next half hour, is getting it ready to go. And you're going to see me tomorrow, and we'll start turning this. Have a great evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or as we like to say here at Shady Acres Wood Shop, howdy. It is the next day. Here's what I have left after trimming up that firewood piece. And I need your opinion. Now, I know you're not really there right now. I know you're really not there, but I always feel like you are. You can tell me in your comments, what do you think? Can you see that this end is higher than this end? This is 2.5 inches, that's 3 inches. I prefer to turn it that way. So we'll have a bowl that has a high side over here, and then a low side over here, and maybe an even lower side here and here. I can't do much about that part. That's the way the tree grows. What I can do when I drill my flat spot for my chuck jaws to set against right here in the middle is I can shim it on the drill press table so that it's flat, and then we'll have an even top on our bowl. It'll still be lower on these sides. Can't do anything about that. The tree is shaped like that. What's your preference? Like that? Equal here and here, or like that, high point, low point. Let me know in the comments. I'm still not sure which way I'm gonna go. Like I said, I prefer this, but I feel like people might prefer the other way. I don't know, we'll figure it out here in a minute, and I'll see you over here at the lathe. Well, which way did I go? Can you tell? Well, the way to tell, that's the thin end and that's the thick end. And what you can tell here is the bottom is flat. If I would have shimmed it up to make the top even, then this thick end would have been sticking out here, and I would have turned all that wood away until it became this size, this thickness, and I just don't like wasting the wood like that. And I guess I just like a bowl that's a little different, you know, a little high on one side. I like that. Why have just a nice flat round bowl? I don't get it. Please let me know your opinion. It means a lot to me. I've explained this before, but I still get the question now and then. So people will ask, why didn't you, as long as you're at the bandsaw, why didn't you cut this round? Why are you going to turn those corners off? Why are you going to make it round now? Why didn't you do it at the bandsaw? Well, maybe I don't want to make it round. I don't know. Actually, I'm thinking I don't. I'm thinking I want to round up these corners maybe and leave some square corners, square ends, square sides, maybe. I don't know. It's fun to do that kind of thing once in a while. You know, just because we're talking about a lathe doesn't mean we have to talk about round. So I don't know. It might end up round, but I kind of doubt it. I'm just gonna start chipping away here at this corner, working my way up this way, but maybe not all the way to here. Maybe leave that and just round up this. I don't know. Sounds kind of fun, doesn't it? We'll get into it and decide as we go along. That's a whole lot more fun to me. I've got such a good hold with that woodworm screw. I do not need tailstock support. It's not going anywhere, I promise. But it is a little bit out of balance, so we're going to be turning at 540 RPM, 5/8 inch bowl gouge, mask and face shield on. And of course we want to stop often and take a look at what we got so that we don't go too far, or to see that we haven't gone far enough. Just stop. Take a look at it. Go get some coffee. Study it for a while before you move on. I like what we're getting here. I'm not saying I'm done, but I'm saying I'm probably getting pretty dang close. I'm going to start coming up from the bottom to get a cleaner cut now. I was trying to protect the bark, but now that I have it rounded, I think we're good to go. So I'll start coming up this way. Yeah, I like that. Okay, we'll come down here and flatten off the bottom and put a recess in there. I'm going to raise my tool rest a little bit and switch to a 1/2 inch gouge to make the recess. And I'm going to raise my tool rest even a little more so I can use my recess tool to put a dovetail on the side here. And that's good. Now that's a little deeper than I need it to be. So I'm going to move some of this wood over this way for a base on here, still with the 1/2 inch. I'll just come out here and roll these corners a little bit kind of round them over, blend them in, and then we'll be done, ready for sanding. Yeah, like that. Time for sanding. I'm going to start the sanding with my Sandoflex. This is 120 grit. I'm going to sand the bark along the top edge here. It's very coarse, very rough, and that's why I'm starting at 120. Usually I just do 180. So I'll do 120 and then 180 and stop there. When I'm done with that, I'll switch to my 2-inch disc starting at 80 grit and working up through 400. For that, I'll have the lathe spinning in reverse at 360 RPM, and I'll show you what all that looks like as soon as I get my mask on. I'll be doing more of that, but that's what it looks like. And that cleans it up, smooths it out, but it doesn't really change how it looks. And that's what that looks like. I'll bring you back here in a bit and we'll put, I don't know, some kind of finish on there. See you in a bit. I bet this is going to be pretty. Look at that color. Just beautiful. And the contrast with the bark, that's just incredible to me. Isn't that pretty? Plum color. This is sanding sealer I'm applying. Shellac based sanding sealer. I'll put 2 coats of this on and then 2 coats of shellac. It's so smooth and the wood is quite hard. It probably really only needs 1 coat of this, but I'll do 2. I always do. I had a nice dome there in the middle, but sanding removed most of it. It's still there, but not like it was. I wonder if this piece will stand up on end. It might. I always consider that a bonus. And now I've just got some sanding sealer in this little can, and I'm just going to brush the bark. And I know you can't see that, sorry. I'm just brushing around the edge because of course we're going to make a bowl in the middle. Okay, well, now you see it. And the next time you see it, it'll be turned around and we'll start working on the inside. And that's when I'll bring you back. See you in a bit. I've got a beautiful finish on the bottom and the ends. Very nice. I've turned the piece around and have the chuck jaws expanded into the recess. We're going to try a 1/2-inch bowl gouge at 600 RPM, mask and face shield on. See how that looks. That's about right. Maybe a little bit thinner. That's pretty good. Sure is rough cutting, probably because I'm using a 1/2 inch. I don't have the large diameter to dampen the bouncy. We don't have a very deep bowl here. We do have a ways to go though. I'm going to try shear scraping. Now this side here is a lot higher than that side, so it's kind of difficult to get a clean cut. That's pretty good. Now we can get in there. Oh, we still got quite a distance to go. I'm gonna go sharpen up. Still got almost 3/4 of an inch total, not to go. I'm just never quite sure when I'm dealing with a recess. It just weighs on me that I'm not leaving enough space down there. I'm just afraid of going through the bottom. Hate when that happens. And it happens. Must be pretty close. Yep, 1/4 inch. We'll try this. I might need to put a fresh burr on it. Alrighty, darty. Time for sanding. I have the lathe spinning both forward and reverse at 370 RPM. I'm starting with an 80 grit disc, working up through 400. I'll bring you back here in a bit and we'll put some sanding sealer in there. See you in a bit. Let's see if the inside looks as good as the outside. Yep, maybe even better. More purple maybe, huh? Or plum color, I guess. Well, plum color is purple, I can't help it. Sure did sand up nice. I do have to touch up this bark just a bit. It can often get a little bit damaged with sanding. Not bad, just around the edge. I think last week I turned apricot and it had cracks in the ends, and this does as well, and this is plum, and I think I made the comment that plum is the worst for that, but this particular piece isn't too bad at all. There's a couple of little cracks, but nothing like I've seen in other pieces. I'm real curious if it's gonna stand up on its own. I hope so. I didn't plan it that way, but sometimes it works out. There you go. Another coat of that, 2 coats of shellac. I'll bring you back and we'll take a good look at this thing. See you in a bit. Well, it's the next day, August 23rd, 2024, and I'm wearing 2 shirts. It's 55 degrees out, raining, cloudy, dark, unbelievable. Just unbelievable. But they say September is going to get better. I hope so. Please stick around until the end of the video so you can see the before and after shots of this piece. If you'd share the video, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, here it is. 1 plum live edge bowl in the books. It's pretty nice, I think. Now, I know a lot of you folks don't like the square ends. I know that. I hear all about it. But it's pretty wood, don't you think? That bark's a nice contrast with the wood. And this will stand, but it won't stand on the wide end. That's because, maybe you can tell, there's a slight curve in this end, and this end is flat. It will stand this way. So you can stand it like that, or like that, just for display when you're not using it. So I think that's kind of cool. Now I brought out another piece that I did a few months ago, I guess, to make a contrast. Now would you rather hold this and look at this, or which one? Which one you want to hold and touch and look at and feel? And I mean, this is a nice bowl, and it does have one saving grace, in my opinion, right there. That kind of saves it. That fell out just at the last minute when I was turning it, so I consider that a blessing. But which one's more interesting? Yeah, this one is. This one is. There's round bowls all over this world, but there's nothing like this all over the world. Far more interesting. I've turned plenty of round bowls in my life, plenty of them. I don't know, I guess I just figured there must be something else, and this is what I found was natural type turnings. So I hope you can at least appreciate it. If it drives you crazy, I'm sorry about that. We all have our phobias, I guess. I have one for sure. But this is just lots more fun to turn. More of a challenge, more interesting to feel. I mean, you have stuff to do with this one. The other one, you just kind of look at it. It's a round ball, okay. I don't see any critters in this one. There were critters in the last one that I did not see until you folks pointed them out to me. All kinds of stuff. And I went and looked and holy cow, how did I miss all that? So maybe you see something here I don't. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you, Tuffy Marginez, for sending this along for all to enjoy. If you like this video, thumbs up please, I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very kindly. I truly appreciate that. I appreciate you taking your time to spend with me today. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to your comments. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.